Hello everybody. I am back today with another video. If you're new to my channel, I do Bible studies that are kind of mental health. They're geared towards mental health. And I'll do reviews on some Christian living books whenever I get the chance. My name's Alexia, and I'm back today with a video, and this video is going to be a video about shining light on stigma. There is a lot of stigma with mental health in general, but I feel like especially if you're a Christian, I've seen a lot with commentaries or people online speaking and saying that worry is a sin. And I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that, because we are dealing with mental illness here, and that is not something we can control. And I don't think that's the way. I don't want to say how I think God feels, but I really don't imagine him feeling that way about mental health issues. So I've chosen a few different verses to talk about. This isn't a full-on Bible study. These are just some verses that I pulled, and half is commentary, half is my interpretation of the verse, which I will warn you, it could be wrong. I have been reading the Bible for a couple years now. I am not perfect in interpreting. I rely heavily on my commentary, but with these verses, I do have more of my thoughts in it than the commentary's thoughts. So the first one we have is 1 Kings chapter 19, verses 3 through 4. And I will go ahead and read this to you, and then I will explain the notes I made. So it says, "Then Elijah became afraid and immediately ran for his life. When he came to Beersheba that belonged to Judah, he left his servant there. But he went on a day's journey into the wilderness. He sat down under a broom tree and prayed that he might die, and said, 'I have had enough, Lord, take my life, for I am no better than my ancestors.'" So we see here, well, I guess I should go on, because going on kind of explains my notes. So it goes on, "Then he lay down and slept under the broom tree. Suddenly an angel touched him. The angel told him, 'Get up and eat.' Then he looked, and there at his head was a loaf of bread baked over hot stones and a jug of water. So he ate and drank and lay down again. Then the angel of the Lord returned for a second time and touched him. He said, 'Get up and eat, or the journey will be too much for you.' So he got up, ate, and drank. Then, on the strength from that food, he walked 40 days and 40 nights to Horeb, the mountain of God. He entered a cave there and spent the night." So I have heard this verse used to bring comfort for mental health a lot of times. So this probably isn't a new revelation for many of you, but here's what I wrote about this. So this is what my commentary had to say: "Even the strongest saints have weaknesses." And then this is what my thoughts are on it. "Elijah was ready to give up, and instead of anger due to Elijah having that kind of suicidal ideation, God was compassionate and sent Elijah help in the form of that angel who gave him food and water to help him get his strength up." And I think that's very encouraging. I've heard from a lot of people, my mom in particular. I was going through a hard time. I was having some dark thoughts, and I confided in her in those dark thoughts. And instead of responding with compassion and help like God did here by sending an angel, my my mom, I love her, but she did say, well, if you do that, you're going to hell. And that is not what I needed to hear in that moment. And here we see that God does not respond to anger when Elijah expresses that he wants to die. He responds with help. And I think that's very encouraging. So that's the first verse that I wanted to go over with the kind of stigma of it. The second verse is going to be Isaiah 41:10. Okay, so here we have it. Isaiah 41:10, and I'll read this verse for you. It says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will hold on to you with my righteous right hand." So I know I'm semi kind of taking it out of context because they're talking about a specific situation here, but this just kind of shows God's character. And this is what I wrote. I had looked in my commentary and it didn't really go over that verse too much, which is surprising. And then I went on a commentary online and it started to talk about how worry is a sin. And I don't, like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't know if I'm right in this, interpretation I have, but I do not think that worry and anxiety is a sin. That is something that is very hard to control, especially when it's an illness. So this is what I wrote. The Lord is responding to fear with compassion and a promise to help and strengthen his people. So he's not responding with anger, saying, "Oh, don't you be worried. You should know better." He's not responding like that. He's giving a promise and he's responding with compassion. I don't remember everything I've read in the Bible, but I can't think of an instance where Jesus or God responded to fear with anger. I know there was the scene with Jesus and Peter on the water, and he did ask why he didn't have, or why he had such little faith, but it wasn't angry to me. Let's go on. The next one I have is Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30. Okay. Okay. And I only highlighted verse 28. "Come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take up my yoke and learn from me, because I am lowly and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So this was mostly from my commentary. It's saying, if life is weighing you down and the burden you're carrying is too much to bear, come to Jesus. To rest is to put your burdens in God's hands and enjoy his provision of forgiveness and eternal life. So here we see again, it's not, "Oh, you don't need to be weary and burdened. Why would you be like that when you know you have me?" No, he's responding with compassion and saying, "Give it to me because my burden is light." And I think that's beautiful. And I think these 3 verses I chose to focus on really help to kind of put it into perspective that God is not angry with us for worrying, having anxiety, being depressed, having dark thoughts. He's not upset with us about it. He wants to be there for us. And that's what you can kind of take away from these verses in this video. And I hope you have. And again, if I said anything that was incorrect, I apologize. Like I said, I am no expert. You know, I'm not a biblical scholar. I wish I could be. I'm 30 now, but if I could go back to school and go to a Bible college, I totally would. Just kind of seems like that ship has sailed for me. But I really enjoy reading the Bible every day, and I think that can be good enough for me. So I hope you got something good out of this video. And if you have any verses that you feel kind of do the same thing, that end the stigma with anxiety, worry, depression, drop them in the comments to help others as well. I want this to be a community where we all kind of help each other. I don't have, thousands of subscribers, and I don't have thousands of views, but the views that I do have matter. Those people matter. You guys matter. And I hope I can help in some way and, help each other in the comments as well. All right. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And Easter's coming up, so I hope you have a wonderful Easter. And God bless.